Yo, what's good? It's Alpha Memphis.
Yo, it's Maki, and we are Dynamic Equilibrium.
DE, Dynamic Equilibrium, you know what I'm saying? We a New York City hip-hop duo. I'm the rapper, that's the producer, but he raps too, you know what I mean? Like, this is a new age. But right now it's just about pushing positivity, you know what I mean? Like, the 3 Ps. Are you just trying to change the way people look at music and look at hip-hop? Because right now it's kind of like you listen to the stuff on the radio and you can't really relate to it as a normal person. Like, I don't drive a Bugatti, you know what I mean? Like, I'm driving around in a Civic. So it's like we trying to bring that real organic hip-hop back and like show people that it's not just about the big chains and the nice cars and all the money, because I'm broke. I just graduated college. I got loans to pay, you know what I mean?
I'm on the fucking subway, you feel me? I don't got a car, nothing. I keep that shit real. You know what I mean? We just started doing our thing, you know what I mean? Just being real. You know what I mean? Putting a message in the music, because that's what we about. You know what I mean? We about touching the minds, you know, tuning in. We don't turn up, we tune in, feel me?
Honestly, I didn't really choose it. I kind of like, I listened, when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of Mos Def, like Black Star. I listened to a lot of, you know, Pac, Biggie, like, and they had, well, at least Biggie had a way of like, you could really say anything on the track and it just flowed and people loved it. And I saw that and I was listening to a lot of that and I developed my flow that way. And the conscious stuff came from like listening to Mos Def and all of that. So I just kind of like merged those two. And when I went abroad, I started realizing like I was watching world news instead of just like the regular local shit that I look at over here. That's why I just stopped looking at the news over here. It's just like, forget all that. But while I was abroad, I was looking at world news and I was like, damn, the world is really a fucked up place, man. Like, what can I do? Like, what can I do as, you know, just the regular person I am? And I was like, let me stop talking about the bullshit and start talking about the real shit. And that's how Pangea came into existence. That's the single off our album, Post Crack Era. And since that, it was just like, this is what people want to hear, you know? So they don't want that bullshit no more. So I figured I'll give them what they want.
Ready for change.
Yeah, it's change.
It's about time. It's about time something new, you know, came around. And that's what we here to do. We here to make that change, for real.
Word. I mean, the way I look at it, it's like all the ignorant shit that it could only last so long. And our motto, you know, the shit on the shirt, smart, superior minds rule timelessly. You know, all that nonsense is only gonna last a certain amount of time, but the shit that we spit is timeless. Like, if you listen to all the tracks that you ever loved, it had a message that still, you know, pertains to shit going on today. And every track on Post Crack Era, it deals with like poverty, deals with religion, it deals with all types of things that's gonna be going on forever, you know, like, unless we gotta bring that message out to let people know like it's time for a change. And if it changes, then it's still gonna be timeless music, because it was a struggle that we had went through. It's a history, you know what I mean?
Of course. We want people in the years to come, we want people to look back at what we've done and have that influence them. You know what I mean? Like, even if we don't make a really big change, we know that we made a little bit of change, and that those people who we're gonna influence, they're gonna just carry it on, and they're gonna make those little imprints, and it's just, you know, it's gonna blow up and it's gonna make a full revolution. That's eventually what's gonna happen. We really believe in that. That's why we make the music we make. I mean, yo, when I get in the studio, I don't go in thinking I'm gonna make a specific kind of beat or for, you know, a specific kind of person. I make how I'm feeling. When I wake up a certain day, you know, if I'm in a bad mood or good mood, I'm gonna make music according to how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? And you know, I sample all my music. Most of my music is sample based, so that's how I choose the samples that I chop up and, you know, add drums to. And I depending on how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? I don't make certain genres. You know what I mean? Like, it may be sample based, but you know, I do pop sometimes, you know, if it sound rock, a little rock, but mostly, you know what I mean, hip hop-ish. You know what I mean? I personally, I don't really like genre, because it's like, music is universal, you know, and you really, with all the combining of different sounds, you really can't put a label to music. You know, good music is good music at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it.
Alright, well, post-crack era, honestly, it came from, well, I was watching a movie called The Zeitgeist. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it was kind of like, it was like a documentary about just like how crazy this world is, and like, you know, it dealt with religion and politics and all types of crazy shit. And it made me think like the last time there was really like people really out there trying to make a difference, it was kind of like the 60s. It was like everybody was on some revolutionary shit. And I thought like, what kind of halted that? Like, what put an end to that shit? And I was like, it was crack. Crack killed all types of shit. Like, it deaded so much artistic, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it just deaded everybody's like mentality. So I'm saying like now, our generation is a generation that needs to bring that revolutionary mentality back and start ushering in change. Like, and it's the post-crack era, this the time to do it. And that's where it really all came from. Is I was watching this documentary and I was like, damn, how can I change the world? Like, how can I change everything this nigga's talking about in this documentary? And post-crack era came into existence.
Yeah, it's definitely, the title itself is metaphoric in the sense of post-crack era. After the crack era, people are recovering, you know what I mean? Which means their minds are starting to work again. So basically with the knowledge that we're kicking with the music, people are starting to really understand it more as they're starting to recover. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're starting to realize a lot more through the music because their mind is opening, you know what I mean? It's becoming more open. So the post-crack era is also a metaphor in that sense.
I say my biggest influence, other than the people I've already mentioned, you know, the Biggies and Mos Def, I would have to say Snoop is honestly like one of my biggest influences. Just cause like in my whip, the Doggy Style album is really the only album I really play. Like, I really have in there, like the only CD that's in there. So if you're in my whip, if you know me personally, like you ever drove with me, you know that's the only album that's gonna be playing. You're gonna hear one of the tracks on that. And it's like, that influenced me a lot because Snoop is another person whose flow is just unmatchable, you know? And I try to like develop my flow in a way where you can't deny like my shit is sick, you know? No matter what I'm saying, I choose to push more conscious shit than Snoop does, but I respect Snoop because his flow is just so impeccable. Like, nobody is touching his shit. That's Snoop. And then I'd say Kendrick Lamar got a crazy flow too, and he's got a positive message. All the TDE, for real, I mean, all black hippie is L, man. Like, if I get a track with any one of them, it have to be Ab Soul, but that's just a personal preference. But I do enjoy all of their music, man. All of their music is L. Like, out of anybody today that I would pick, it'd be TDE. And what they doing, it's a real positive movement they got, and I appreciate that. Word. Like today, I'd have to say, you know, Tina Apex, Chelsea Reject from Pro Era.
I got one.
Word.
3D Nati. I don't know if I said that right. But yo, I love her. I love what she doing.
Yo, I love Queen Latifah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love her. She was real, like a real revolutionary, strong black woman. And I love that. Feel me? My mother's a strong black woman. So, you know, Erykah Badu, like all of them, man. Like,
Nitty Scott was the other one. Nitty Scott MC.
Nitty Scott MC. There's a lot of them, man. That they're the beautiful, strong women, and that's what I like to see in female lyricists. You know what I mean? Like, there's other female rappers out there that, you know, they got their own message, and I don't really condone it. I ain't gonna mention no names, but you probably know who I'm talking about. But you know, it's just the way it is. You know, you got to get your money the way you get your money. I ain't hating on it, but it's just other ones I respect a little bit more.